Most people think that you can't retire early on a minimum wage in the UK, but in this video I'm showing you how I am planning to retire at age 53 with currently no pension, little savings, no investments, and I've only recently got my first job in the last 15 years, which is minimum wage. So let me explain my freedom plan to you. Phase 1 is about unlocking equity in my home. So I am recently divorced, and out of this divorce, I am going to be given a percentage of equity in the house. Not everything, some of the equity and some of the current investments. This will hopefully give me around about £140,000. Now you might think that this is a lot of money, but this is equity in a house, and a lot of people aged 46, if they've had their own home for a while, they probably have way more equity than this, and they probably have a pension. So I'm actually starting a lot lower than a lot of people. The marital home is an expensive 4-bedroom new house, currently worth round about £360,000. I wouldn't be able to afford to take over the mortgage on my minimum wage because the mortgage is about £1,500 a month. So that's just not doable. That really I'm only taking home about £1,600 from my salary, so I can't be spending £1,500 on a mortgage. That's just crazy. So what I plan to do is I plan to buy a house that is a lot cheaper. And thankfully where I live, in Wales, in a big town in Wales, you can get quite a lot of cheap houses for round about £180,000. So I have a new partner now, and we are going to be splitting the cost of this new house. We're both going to be putting in about £60,000 and taking out a very small mortgage for around about £60,000 and splitting the cost of that mortgage. So my mortgage payment is going to be under £200 a month, enabling me to save a lot of money. So what I'm going to do with the extra equity is there's going to be about 80 grand left over once I've put about 60 grand of it into the new house. And I'm going to invest that equity, that £80,000, into investments. I don't have a pension, so I need to catch up. I'm going to invest probably around about half of it into a SIP, self-invested private pension, and probably around about half of it into a stocks and shares ISA. I might need to drip feed these over a couple of years because there are a maximum amount of monies that you can put in, but eventually this is where the money's going to end up. So hopefully within the next year or so, there's going to be round about £80,000 in investments. I've also got a first work-based pension because I've got my first job now. It's not a lot of money, but it is definitely something, and it will really help. Because my mortgage payments are going to be so low, even on minimum wage, and my lifestyle expenses are very, very low, I'm hoping that I will be able to save round about £6,000 a year into investments from my salary. So my investments are going to be growing by £6,000 plus the growth, the natural growth in the investments will be growing these investments so that by the time I retire, they will be a lot higher. If the growth of my investments is as expected, as I've planned it out, hopefully my pot of investments will have grown from 80,000 to 223,000 by the age of 53 in 7 years' time. Now the investments might not grow as expected, but I'm willing to ride it out. I'm willing to be flexible about my date of retirement, so I'm not too concerned. If the market suddenly drops, I will just carry on working. No big deal. So if my investments are as I've planned, age 53, then I will be retiring and I will be starting to draw down my investments. And that's why I want about half of it in stocks and shares ISAs, because I won't be old enough to access my pension by that age. I have to wait till I'm 57 to access my pension, so I need some money in other pots of money. So I need my investments in other places, not just my pension. So I'll be drawing down my stocks and shares ISA. And one of the main reasons that I have planned to retire early, despite not having a very large pot of money at all, is that my living expenses are very, very low. I used to be a big spender, so I have worked really hard on this, and now I'm in such good habits that I naturally spend less money. I've got a very frugal lifestyle, but also a lifestyle that I really love, and I have a lot of fun. I'm not one for staying in watching the telly. I do like to get out and have lots of fun, and I'll make other videos on how I manage to stay within a very frugal lifestyle. If you don't take housing expenses and children expenses into consideration, I spend about £1,000 a month on just myself, on my share of the bills, on my personal expenses, on my car payments, etc. In my next video, I'm going to be showing you my amazing spreadsheet that has helped me to plan this out, because without this spreadsheet, I never would have dreamed that this was possible. It helps me to play around with figures and decide, if I do this, if I put this in, if I sell the house for this much, if I have a mortgage for this much, and then I put that into my investments, how much will I generate there? How much will it be worth? Just say I draw down this percentage and that percentage, and it's just absolutely amazing. So I really hope that this gives you hope. A lot of people don't look at the equity in their house as money that they could be investing to grow their wealth and help them to retire early. If you're willing to do something drastic with your housing, then this can really help you retire early. I started this channel to help build a community so we can all share strategies and help each other out. So let me know what stage you're up to. Are you planning on retiring early? Have you already retired early? What do you think about my plan? Do you think it's going to work? Do you have any questions? I'd love to hear from you below. Have an amazing day.